everybody. For every one of us will give an account of himself. Are you ready to give an account of yourself? You know, I'd like to make believe that you're St. Peter. And I would come before you. And I would give an account of myself. Or, I'll make believe I'm St. Peter and you come before me and you give an account of yourself. You know something? I think the sooner we do that, the better. The sooner we give an account of ourselves, the sooner we will say, ooh, oh, I shouldn't do that anymore. And the less the offenses will pile up. Yes? You know, by the time we learn to behave ourselves, we're too old to do anything but. But I would like to do that. I would like to go before you and give an account of myself. What about the things you're ashamed of? Oh, I'd like to have you know that I'm ashamed of them. And I never want to do them again. Would you be willing to do that? Give an account of yourself? Where did I get that from? From Romans 14. The Apostle Paul's letter to the Romans, chapter 14, verse 12. For every one of us shall give an account of himself. Verse 11 is, He is love, He is love. He has shown us by His life that He is love. All His people shout with one voice of joy that Jesus Christ is love. Now let's put a old Glendora, Chat with Glendora spin on that. Jesus Christ, God, and helping others are synonymous. S-Y-N, not S-I-N. They are synonymous. You can use them interchangeably. So, who is love? Helping others is love. Helping others is love. It has shown us by its life that it is love. All its people shout with one voice of joy that helping others is love. Is lovely. He is Lord, He is Lord. He has shown us by His life that He is Lord. All His people, no, okay, all His people shout with one voice of joy that Jesus Christ is love. He is life, He is life. Every knee shall bow, every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is life, that helping others is life. Every knee shall bow. You may be able to do it, but I can't. Every knee shall bow, every tongue confess that helping others is life. That's good, isn't it? That's a good old Chat with Glendora spin. Helping others and God and Jesus are interchangeable. And a bird and a dog and a cat all died. And they went to heaven. And God said to the bird, where do you want to sit? The bird says, I want to sit on your left. And God said to the dog, where do you want to sit? And the dog says, I want to sit on your right. And God said to the cat, where do you want to sit? And the cat said, I think you are sitting in my chair. He is love, he is love. All his people shout with one voice of joy that Jesus Christ is love. Helping others is love. That's just part of it, some of it. Helping others is all you do, but you do it with others. And you all have a good time doing it. You all have a ball doing it. An employer asks an employee, do you have difficulty making decisions? And the employee said yes and no. This is our trusty Optelec, an electronic magnifier. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, come out at 28. The Queens, this show is for Queens. Queens Public Access TV. So we have to be out at 8. Gregory is coming up next, and he's going to go through the Pass It On, all of the literature that came through the mail that we think might help you. It has helped us, and we think we would pass it on to you to help you. Alrighty. So that's our meditation. What is meditation? It's just thinking it over. And what do? We each have a sanctuary, a place where we can concentrate and narrow in on the soul that is inside of you. What is the soul? It is the God that is inside of you. And it is the God that is inside of everybody. Amen. And that's what we do. We go to our sanctuary and we listen to the soul and we get the answer to everything. It's amazing how that works. Somebody will ask you if you want to do something on such and such a date, and then you will go and meditate upon it, and you will say, should I do it such and such a day, or what should I do, or how should I do it, and what is the answer? And along comes the next day, and along comes the answer. It's nice. It's such a, well, there is a word for it, and it's called afflatus. F is in Frank, F is in Frank, hi Franklin. A-F-F-L-A, T-Tom, U-S Sam, afflatus. It means an overpowering spiritual impulse. Isn't that nice? It means an imparting of divine knowledge. That really sends you, doesn't it? So that's what we do. We go to our sanctuary and we just listen. And we don't think about ourselves. we get the ego out of it. Ego is the darkness, the selfishness, the me first. You get that out of your life and everything's going to be fine. And what takes its place? Helping others. So that's our Bible passage and our hymn. Want some jokes? Alrighty. If a horse's nose is pointing to the north, where is his tail pointing? Where is his tail pointing? No, not to the south, to the ground. And do you know why crime doesn't pay? Do you know why crime doesn't pay? As soon as it does, the company changes its name. And what is dancing? Dancing is the fine art of getting your feet out of the way before your partner steps on them. Every knee shall bow, every tongue confess that helping others is the way. The boss thinks he's a big wheel, but if you let the air out of his tire, he's pretty flat. Or if you let the air out of him, he's a flat tire. Let's do that again. The boss thinks he's a big wheel, but if you let the air out of him, he's a flat tire. And Harry wanted to be an ear doctor, and he started studying for it. Then all of a sudden it occurred to him, he'd better be a dentist. Why? People have only 2 ears, but they have 34 teeth. Or is it 32? I have 11. A college degree is a poor excuse for an education. Diplomacy is do you remember what diplomacy is, Greg? Diplomacy is stepping on thin ice before what?
Diplomacy?
Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
I think
Diplomacy. I didn't get that. So.
education is drumming abstract ideas into concrete heads. You can always tell a good executive by the worried look on his assistant's face. If his assistant has a worried look, you know he's a good executive. How does your son-in-law get his exercise? He jumps to conclusions. He stretches the truth. And he runs up bills. A celebrity is somebody who spends all his lifetime becoming famous, then walks around in dark glasses so you won't recognize him. A man returned to his hometown, and the first 4 people didn't recognize him, and the next 4 people didn't know that he'd even left. You can't go home again. You know that, folks? You can't go home again. It's not there. You could say, oh, I want to go back home. I want to go back home and see all the people and see all the places. But you go back and it isn't there. Thomas Wolfe wrote a book about that. You can't go home again. But that's the way of the universe. That's the way of God. Constant change, constant motion. And I think it's constant improvement. I say things are getting better and better and better and better. Things are getting better and better and better. Maybe some of you remember when you had to work weekends. You had to work Saturdays. Or they got it down, you had to work half of a Saturday. But now, you don't think about working Saturdays. Things are getting better, better, and better. Did you know at one time women were not allowed to vote? Women who give birth to everybody in the world were not allowed to vote? What kind of masculine misogynist is that? I say things are getting better and better and better. And do you know, folks, that yesterday was a 100-year anniversary of the Armistice World War I, 1918, and all those people died. The youth, the cream of the crop, died, killed. 1918, 100 years ago, and they called it Armistice Day because that was the day the armistice was signed. But as there became more and more wars, we had to change it to Veterans Day. Where are we now? Words. Our first word is alchemy. That's the medieval chemical science that had 3 objects: to change baser metals into gold, to find the ultimate cure for disease, and to prolong indefinitely life. Well, they didn't make it, did they? And they'll never make it. Because that's not the way of the universe. Every night I have a little tiny clock. Cute little thing. No, that's a timer. Let me find a little clock. Here he is. Isn't he cute? And every night at 7:03 p.m. he goes ta-ta-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta. And whatever I'm doing, I stop and I think about the spin of the earth. We're spinning. You and I, we're spinning around and around and around, and I guess at where we are at 600 miles an hour. I spin, spin, spin. And then I think about how that earth, say the sun's over here, and the earth, you and I, we're on a great ride. What a ride we are. We're riding around the sun. It takes us a whole year to do it. And now, right now, folks, we're approaching the coldest days, because that's the farthest we are from the sun. And we're approaching the coldest days, and we're going to get into them somehow or other. We got to get ourselves out of it. And then it gets warmer and warmer and warmer. And the spin of the earth, the days get darker, earlier and earlier and earlier. Isn't it fun, the trip that we are on? And then you think about gravity. That wonderful thing, gravity. The gravity effect of the sun on the earth, keeping it in that orbit. The gravity effect of the earth on the moon. Folks, does anybody know what gravity is pulling on our sun? What gravity is holding our sun in its path? Do you know? What is it? Do you know what gravity is holding the Milky Way into its pattern of motion, whatever it is? And then you think about water, how great it is. Water. Hot water, cold water, running water. And then you think how great it is not to have a toothache, and not to have to go to the dentist, and not to have to pay dentist bills. And then you think about the air, that envelope of air that's around the earth. Where would we be without it? Dead. In three minutes we would be dead. The ionosphere, the troposphere, the air that carries sound, the air that carries temperature, the air that carries moisture. See all those things to think about at 7:03 p.m.? It's your Vespers. It's your Vespers, your evening prayer. Then you think about the soil, the earth, the rock, the mantle. And you think about the miracles that come out of the earth. The light, the leaves, the trees, the plants, the animals. You think about the birds and the fish and the mammals and the cats and the dogs and the horses. And I hope you think about treating them right. No more animal products. No more eating animals or wearing animals or exploiting animals. What else do you think about? The electricity, the magnetism, the electromagnetic spectrum, our visible part of the electromagnetic spectrum, infrared, microwave, radio waves, television waves, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, ultraviolet, X-rays, gamma rays. And I think the electromagnetic spectrum is a continuous ellipse. And you have the great, great, great big long wavelengths and the tiny frequencies right about here, and then it gets shorter. The wavelengths get shorter, 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 and shorter until they're about the shortest here, and then they start getting longer and longer and longer and come around and meet. I think somehow or other gravity is in the electromagnetic spectrum as a wave, with wavelength and frequency. Those are nice things to think about at 7 o'clock in the evening, aren't they? Do you have any news for me? Wayne Collins and I talk every Sunday, and we go over our show and tell. And it's very interesting, and it lasts quite a while, 40 minutes. I want to tell you that the Public Access Television Convention was a joy. Here is Public Access now, folks, 48 years. Glendora's been doing it 47 years. And Lynn Harper says nobody will ever match the record of a chat with Glendora. And she's got a very sound reason for saying that. Because it started 47 years ago, and it has 11,970 shows, and it has 71 TV stations, and it has the longest public access still running show in the world. Nobody can match that record because they don't have time to do it. There isn't that much time left. So she says not only, she's a real fan, not only is it the best show on TV, public access, but it always will be because nobody can get up the record. The years aren't there. Isn't that funny? Okie dokie. Every knee shall bow, every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. He is love, He is love. He has shown us by His life that He is love. All His people shout with one voice of joy that Jesus Christ is love.
Oh, Glendora, like a minute and a half.
Oh, thank you, Gregory. Gregory's going to come on, folks. We have to go out of Queens. Queens, you can only go to 28 minutes, or at the most 29. I hate that artificial, I loathe, detest, abhor that artificial restriction on radio. It started with radio in the 30s and went into television, broadcast television, and now it's into cable television. But on the internet, we don't have to do that. If I come to your house and we sit down in the living room, we don't have to watch a clock and stop talking to each other at 28 minutes, do we? No. On the internet, it's civilized. You talk until you finish. I don't know whether this is the to-do list or the list to talk to you about. Well, so we're going to cut out Queens. We respect you for being such a fine public access television station. We respect you for being such a fine public access television station. We respect you. It's different from most of your comrades. So we'll cut out from you, and then we'll go to the other TV stations, and then we'll go to the internet where there's no time limit. Let me say this to you. May the grace of God, the fellowship of the Holy Spirit, and the love of God be with you and all of those you love. We respect you for the way you run it, although it's different. It's different from most of your comrades. So we'll cut out from you, and then we'll go to the other TV stations, and then we'll go to the internet where there's no time limit. Let me say this to you. May the grace of God, the fellowship of the Holy Spirit, and the love of God be with you and all of those you love. Amen.
Okay, all right. Okay. Okay, that's all said there. Okay, let's see here now. We got, so Glendora will join you now?
Oh, did you shut off Queens?
Yes, I did, yeah.
Oh, yes. Would you join me now, dear Gregory?
Sure, okay. All
Can
right.
you sit by my side right here?
Yes, I could do that, yeah.
Got a nice comfy chair.
Okay.
This Gregory, he reads me my journal that was written in 2017. He reads it to me every day. Nobody else can read my writing. I can't read it, but he can. And he read to me a statement that I had put in that journal last year. I said, I will never be able to pay the world for all of the help that Gregory Charles Washburn has been to me. I will never be able to pay the world for all of the help that Gregory Washburn has been to me. Now, Greg, you're going to read to us he's
Yeah,
our corresponding secretary.
Oh, here I am. Do you want to just move up just a little bit? or-
Which way, this way?
Yeah, this way, up front.
Okey-dokey.
So we're the same size.
Is this the way you want it?
Yes, oh, perfect. So. Well, very good. Well, good afternoon, everybody, or good morning, or good evening, whenever you're watching this program. All right, here we are. So, do you want to introduce this part of the program, or this is
What, dear?
Do you want to introduce this part of the program, or
Oh, I
This is,
don't have any idea how to introduce it. Would you do it?
it's pass it on, or this is a pass it on? Is it I guess. Sure. Anyway, we're here today, and we have have material here to go over. There's different mail that's came in for Glendora, and I'm gonna talk about some of that. And do you have anything to say at all, or anything to
No,
say right now?
I think what you wanted me to say was that these things come into past our desk, our great 9-foot by 4-foot desk, and we think they would help you, so we pass them on to you.
Yeah, we're passing it on, and we sometimes I pitch jokes to Glendora, and sometimes she goes over those, and we do that. One big part of the material here is some of Glendora's. These are Glendora's invoices of her commercial airtime that she bought on different local television stations here, and she's got invoices here from Fox of your vegan commercials that you ran on the local television station. And this receipt is for much airtime. This totals.
Show it to them, honey.
Yeah, this is one. This is from Fox 23 here. Fox 23 invoice. And Glendora's now making vegan commercials to promote veganism, and that's what she's doing right now. Let's go. We got the. Well, anyways, there's a number of different 30-second spots on here, and the total in this was $400 for these spots.
I'll take them for you, Greg.
Okay.
I'll hold 'em for you.
Oh, good. Yeah, $400 for the. It was $400 for the all of these spots, and these two sheets go together. That's it together right there, and that's the envelope.
Can
that
you
goes
tell them
with
what the
it.
bottom line is, how much we spent for 2018 and 2019?
Oh, the bottom line is the well, we just total it up today. There, the total is over $10,000 in
It was
airtime.
8,800 and 9,900.
It's
It was 18. Wasn't
yeah,
it
some-
18,000,
between
Greg?
$17,000-$18,000 in airtime for the commercial time. So
To get people
is,
to go vegan and stop hurting the
yeah,
animals.
to get people to go vegan there, yeah. And also here is a letter of this is thank you. Glendora donates to her local her college, American International College, and she's got a letter here of appreciation for the donations that she's made to the school. Your recent gift not only is an investment in our students, it also enables us to fulfill our promise that we will continue to deliver an engaging, dynamic educational experience for years to come.
Wow.
And it says, warm regards, Kyle Sprague, Advancement Services Manager. And they say, thank you, Glendora. This is,
Would you read that statement again? It enables them to do what?
to fulfill their promise that they will continue to deliver an engaging, dynamic educational experience for years to come.
It's very nice, don't you think?
What AIC can accomplish is enhanced by donors like you. We sincerely thank you for your dedication, and we are honored to count you as a member of the AIC family there. So, and they say that. So that's something.
And thank you for that vegan brunch you gave us at the Hall of Fame celebration.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Want me to take that one, hon?
Yeah. These are.
I'll hold them all for you.
These are other papers there. All right.
Okay.
I have yeah. There's an issue of the Human Farming Association's newsletter here. And,
Humane Farming Association?
Humane Farming Association. Yeah, I'll show it to the camera right there. The Humane Farming Association, and they sent this to Glendora, and there's photographs and pictures of farms, and there's articles in here about vote no for here's one here, vote no on Proposition 12. It's about it's an argument against Proposition 12, and it concerns the egg industry here.
Well, what is Proposition 12?
It says here that it's falsely promoted as a cage-free measure. Proposition 12, in fact, explicitly legalizes the continued use of egg factory cages for years to come. Proposition 12 is the result of a public relations alliance between HSUS and the Egg Industries National Trade
Humane Society of
Association.
the United States.
And and then the Egg Industries National Trade Association, United Egg Producers, and that's their literature right there. So here's a card that was mailed to Glendora right here. It says, Glendora, thank you for your packet showing your great activism with fun and humor. Go vegan! Exclamation point! Yes. From all your friends at HFA. Signed, Jill. From the
HFA?
Humane Farming Association.
Humane Farming Association.
Yeah, that was sent from.
Thank
her.
you for what you do. Keep at it, keep at it. Let people know the horrors that these poor animals love, little darlings who just want to be pets, like your dog and cat. The horrors that they are being put through, it's got to stop.
And also, this is a gift for Glendora's public access show. This is a letter from the Bay Area of San Francisco. This is from the Bay Area Video Coalition.
Nice people.
And they wrote Glendora a letter.
Public access in San Francisco.
And they wrote a letter last month. It says, Dear Glendora, on behalf of the BAVC board staff, and the thousands of individuals we serve each year. Thank you for your generous contribution to BAVC. Your gift of $50 on April 7th supports our programs that benefit and empower emerging and established media makers, community members, local youth, and creative industry professionals to create and share their diverse stories through art, education, and technology.
That's the story of public access.
And they and some of the public access systems, some of them some have more funds than others, and a lot of them they work on contributions, and they want to they have people contribute to help them out to keep the message going. All right, this is here's a receipt from Catholic Charities. Catholic Charities.
Thank you, Catholic Charities, for what you do.
That Glendora donated them $25 here. And this is a receipt.
Folks, let me interject here that I called Catholic Charities to ask what they could do for the elderly. Being 90 years old, no doctors and no medicine, and the little cat over here in the box is 98 years old, no veterinarians, no medicine. But I called Catholic Charities to ask them what they could do for this elderly person. Nothing. But I respect what they can do for the others. And then I called the Rensselaer County Office of the Aging. And I asked them about Meals on Wheels. Well, their whole logistics of distributing the Meals on Wheels is really a marvel to see. How the young lady comes at somewhere between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. But the food is not right. It is not vegan, and they don't have a vegetarian option. This is wrong. This is wrong. You people who are doing Meals on Wheels. That is the wrong thing to do. All your meals should be at least vegetarian, but they really should be vegan. And how do I go about getting that movement started? And I called the American Vegan Society and said, we got to do something about this. They're giving out wrong food. This food is enough to kill a person. It's too much starch. It doesn't have the taste that they should. They want a $3 donation for every meal. Well, it isn't worth $3. Oh, Gregory, let me tell you about the little boy who came running into the house, and he says, Grandma, I dropped my lunch on the driveway and Dad backed the car over it. And Grandma says, that's Wheels on Meals.
Okay. Here's a letter. I have a letter here from. This is from the President's Office at Springfield Museums.
Springfield Museum, President's Office.
Yeah, this was Glendora recently went to Springfield, Massachusetts, and she was inducted into the American International College's Co-Curricular Hall of Fame, along with I think a number of other students from the school, and Glendora was Glendora was a member of the class of 1950, and along with the
AD.
Yeah, along with the induction into the Hall of Fame, she got some tickets to the of all things the Seuss, Dr. Seuss Museum in Springfield there, which is I guess next to the library. It's right next to the library in town.
In the quadrangle behind the library.
The quadrangle, and then they sent us some free admission tickets to the Seuss Museum, and our party, we got to go to the museum and observe that, and we and the sun at that time of the day, the sun came out and it turned into a nicer day, and it stopped raining, and So Glendora, she got to go see the Dr. Seuss Museum, and maybe you'll see some video of that.
The outdoor part, folks, is full life-size statues, bronze, of Dr. Seuss sitting at the desk, creating, and of Horton the elephant, and of Maggie, and of the hat, the cat in the hat, or the hat and the cat who came back. You really got to see that. But Greg, the thing that I saw, that my friend who used to be the alumni director of American International College, she is now the curator of this new Dr. Seuss Museum, and it's a house. And they've emptied the house, and they painted the ceilings, and they painted the walls, and they have painted the floor. All of these bright, bright colors and all kinds of designs. And the children just run all over it and love it. And they have a life-size cat in the hat sitting on a bench. And you can sit, there's a place for you to sit down next to him. You gotta go. You must go to Springfield, Massachusetts, to the Dr. Seuss Museums.
Yes, I would suggest you go there at least once. Make a plan to go there at least once.
And stay away from the casino.
You don't go. You don't.
Stay away from gambling. Although they have other good things in the casino.
And word has it that there is a casino somewhere in the town. There's a notice of that. Glendora, here's some some coupons from corn. The corn.
Are they? What's the date of expiration on it? I may have missed all those. What is it?
Oh, it says at the end of this year, December 31st.
Oh, okay. Well, you want them? You write to me, honey, and I'll give them to you.
And yeah, we have to use them before the end.
Corn is delicious. Unfortunately, it's not vegan. It's vegetarian. Although there is some vegan corn. What is vegetarian and what is vegan? Let me explain it to you. Vegan is no animal products, no fur, no honey, nothing. Just leave animals alone. Just live harmlessly. You don't have to harm an animal to live. Whereas vegetarians, they don't eat meat, but they do eat dairy. And the horrors that chickens and turkeys and cows and calves, how they're snatched from their mothers and put in an enclosure so they'll be anemic and be veal. And then they say, oh, well, you have to milk a cow or she would be in agony. Only because you took her baby away from her without even cutting the umbilical cord in some cases. No. Vegetarian still eats dairy. It's better, but it's not right. Okay. Are you done?
Oh, just about. We have, there's a, well, what we like to, usually we used to finish the show here. We have a list of,
yeah, go ahead.
no, there's a list of the 10 Commandments written in children's
Yes,
language.
oh yes, please, I love the way you read
I
those.
haven't done this in a while, but this is this is a list of the 10 Commandments are written in language so that children can understand that. And I'm going to read the number 1, love God more than you love anything else.
Love helping others more than you love anything else.
And number 2, don't make anything in your life more important than God.
Don't make anything in your life more important than helping others.
And number 3, always say God's name with love and respect. Number 4, honor the Lord by resting on the 7th day of the week. Love and respect your mom and dad. Number 6, and never hurt anyone.
Do not kill.
Number 7, always be faithful to your husband or wife. Number 8, don't take anything that isn't yours. Number 9, always tell the truth. Number 10, be happy with what you have. Don't wish for other people's things. And that's number 10. That's the
Excellent.
the 10 Commandments written in language for children to understand that right there.
Thank you, Greg.
You're welcome, sir. All right, very good. And I think that's most everything in the folder here.
We made a commercial today, folks, and we asked people, do we have vegan turkey? Yes, tofurkey, Cedar Lakes, turkey slices, Gardein, turkey cutlets with gravy, Worthington smoked turkey, corn, turkey roast, and a whole lot more in the supermarket.
Oh, yes.
Here's their sweet things. Have I got it right side up?
Oh,
Greg?
yes, you do, yeah?
Okay. And is that right side up?
Yes, it is, yeah. And I'm just gonna run quick over here and get a little friend of ours here to show who came back to us.
Oh, you want to show them
Flash.
Chauncey Flash Cat?
Yeah, Flash came back. So let me go grab
Yeah, he went away and we were worried and I got hysterical about all kinds of things that might have happened to him. But he was all right. Is he in?
We're just gonna show him quick.
No, show him.
This
Take your
is,
time showing him. He's beautiful.
This is our friend here, Flash Cat here. So, and he took a hiatus for a couple days, and we were worried about him. And then he came back into the world of back into our world here. And we just want to be
Flash.
we just want to
He is the best cat.
say that we're thankful to him, and
He is
he's
the
the
best cat.
orange.
Put his
he's-
face right to the camera.
He's
would
an
you?
little orange cat there. So, and he's so friendly
He-
and nice.
He belongs to the people next door, but he doesn't like to live there. So he's been
you know,
coming to all the rest of us, and I made sure that he was sheltered and made sure that he doesn't bother .com.
And the weather's inclement today, and I think that's why he hasn't been around. So, and but he's back now, and we're glad to have him back in the show.
Well, before I say to the benediction, you want to say your last words?
Oh, me, the words. Well, I just want to say, well, Glendora, you were inducted into the AIC American International College Hall of Fame, co-curricular Hall of Fame, and that was a major thing last month. We went to Springfield and we went to the dinner, and Glendora got up and she made her speech and she told her jokes, and maybe you'll see that in other parts of the show, and so congratulations for the induction there, and
Thank you, Greg,
and
for your support. and help.
the entire day was very interesting and stimulating, and all I have to say that. So, and but here we are now. Now we it's in November. Now this is November 13th, 2018, and next week is Thanksgiving. We give thanks next week, and we're all families are gonna get together and we give thanks next week for Thanksgiving. And the holidays are going to be coming up, and it's getting a little bit chillier outside every day. And I just want everybody to be safe and have a happy Thanksgiving, and continue watching the show. And you can watch Glendora on it's on YouTube, and there's links on Twitter and Facebook if you want to see Glendora's show. That's about all I have to say, really.
Okie doke. And just let me say that after all is said and done, the only thing that really mattered was how do you treat others. The only thing that really mattered was how did you treat others. And let me go further and say others includes animals. And I will go so far as to say you're never going to have that peace of God, that peace, that understanding, unless you are vegan.